6:35 is the perfect time to arrive.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I look around, I see guys who've been supporting this event for the last 5 years, and you are the rock upon which this thing is built. We got some new people and we got some new participants, and it's that constant influx of quality, fresh blood that I think keeps the event alive and keeps it getting better and better every year. So thank you all for being here, and I hope you're ready for a day of hard work. I promise the best day of fishing you've ever had. First and foremost, and always, safety. Okay? We are the eyes and ears of the event. If we don't end the day with everyone well and healthy, then we've not met our principal objective, okay? This is healing waters, okay? So nobody gets hurt. All right, now you know the rules. You know how it works. Fish two angler teams. One angler fishes at a time. The first trout that an angler catches gets scored. So the first trout the warrior catches, that trout gets scored.
Another beautiful day out here at Bob Fitch's Mossy Creek. The gods are smiling on us once again, and it looks like that we're in for some spectacular, not only weather, but a spectacular time. Great to be here again.
Well, it's the 5th year I've done this, and it gets better every year. I think the cause of supporting the Warriors is an awesome cause. The other thing I really like is just getting to see these people. I see them once a year, I remember them, they remember me. It's a great sense of spirit around the place, and that makes it worthwhile. Glad to do it.
A great event for a great cause. This year you can't ask for better weather and better water and better camaraderie with both the troops and the volunteers.
So this is a 5-weight rod, and you have to have the same line. This is a 5-weight line as well. So the line has to match the rod. Because that's one of the hardest parts is once you hook the fish, is landing. That's one of the hardest parts.
It's a typical spring creek, which means it's fairly slow-moving water, very clear water, and it is mossy. It's got a lot of vegetation in it because it's a typical spring creek, and that's what's happening. So when you cast into this mess, call it, you'll go down and look and say, man, there's a lot of stuff in the water. Well, there's certain places you've got to be able to cast, put the fly, so you're not ending up in the salad that's out there in the water. Okay, that's all there is to it. You're fishing.
They caught their first fish on the rod that they built on the flies they tied. They're level and through the sailing down.
And you just drop the line right at your feet. Don't worry, you're not trying to reel it on. Just and back and forth it goes, keeping tension.
I think today's going to be awesome. Awesome day. We're going to catch big fish.
Different uniforms and different flags, we did the same jobs. So it's a real honour to come and be with these guys.
I've been in for 20, he's been in for about the same, and it's a pleasure to sit down and not think about countries and fish.
We're just really pleased in the community that the Fitches have the lodge here, and we have Mossy Creek, that it gives those of us that live here an opportunity to participate in this event. It's just a real honor to get out here with the soldiers and the other volunteers.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 5th annual Mossy Creek Invitational Fly Fishing Tournament and fundraiser for Project Healing Waters.
I just want to say thank you. We've got a lot of people here who've been here before. Back in the room, the one person I'm looking at, Mayor Hallie Dinkle. When you came in on Dinkle Avenue and you saw that big banner that says "Welcome to Waters, Project Healing Waters," that's because the mayor put it up, and that mayor is a Vietnam veteran, and he's here every year as a volunteer. So he's just one example of what this community has come together every year to do, is to put on a terrific tournament, and hopefully you'll have a great day. The shop at Mossy Creek Fly Fishing has put together a fly box for each of our warrior and veteran anglers. They have stocked it. They were stocking them last night based on the weather conditions that and water conditions we expected today. So you're not going to get better stuff than this, all right? Come on up, get your flies and get a pack. We got Cody Bowers. Cody, get a box of flies, a pack for you. They're camo, because the fish are going to be a little spooky today. All right. All right, where are we now? Billy Davis. Billy, could you get a box of flies, a pack for you, and a pack for Marty, okay? Welcome.
God, he's looking at it. He comes up and looks at it.
Oh, good jumper! All right. Just keep. Oh yeah, yeah. We ought to have a. He said he could have one up. Get back in the water. Right. Get back in the water. Cody, you're probably going to want to measure this one. 14 and a half. 14 and a half, so it's... Oh, he's measured. Oh, okay. Yeah, your call.
Throw him back on.
The first one was a little bigger than the kid, didn't he?
Yeah, he was sitting right in there and he wanted it too.
Well, let him go take the shot. Yeah. I mean, this is a game of daring.
Yeah.
What's your risk tolerance?
I'm going to risk it and not count it.
Okay. Nicely done.
Okay. All right, well, keep
it.
the
Good
fish
job.
down.
Fish out, Cody.
Monitors, as you come back from your morning fishing session, if you would bring me your score sheet, please. I'll take that off you and tally scores. So please don't forget, I need score sheets from the morning.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, thank you. Oh. That's good.
We should have an award for that. That's amazing.
That was on a 19-incher.
Holy cow.
It's like to shot yourself in the foot.
All right, I
better
start adding numbers here.
Not only that, but I got to find a new net.
Belial's got a 15 and a half, and a 12, and Kathy's got an 18, that's worth 36, and a 16, that's worth 32. First off, congratulations everybody on an outstanding morning's fishing. I've gotten reports back on some very skillful angling and some very impressive results on a day when the fish are probably a little bit leery.
One about 6 inches, and then 3 minutes before the end I got one that was 15 inches. So.
This is my first time fishing.
The weatherman says there's a chance for rain, and I really should mow the yard today. But Benny called, and now the grass don't look that tall. After after all. He said, I already got the boat hooked up, the batteries charged and my favorite plug tied on. I'm going with or without you, friend. And I said, count me in. 'Cause last night I dreamed I hung the big one on a crankbait off that point by channel marker 21. And today might be the day my fishing dreams come true, and I break that state record by at least a pound or two. And if I don't, we always have a good time anyway.
Well, first when I caught him, it was you know, it was a struggle. And then he just came to, he wanted to come home. No, it was fun. It was a blast.
His first dry rod fish.
Alright, wow, look at that baby jump! But you bring him off because the drag
doing all you could.
2
extra on that one.
And I know a hole by a sunken pier that's really good this time of year. And the fishing slow, we got vintage jokes and country music on the radio. But I sure would love to hook a big one. That ain't all that matters to me when it's said and done. 'Cause today might be the day my fishing dreams come true, and I break that state record by at least a pound or two. And if I don't, we always have a good time anyway.
Yes, sir. Good
I'll never know if I don't go.
Oh, broke up.
Today might be the day.
Nice. Good one.
I'm gonna get one real close. Ready? Grab my gear, kiss my wife for luck, jump in the truck, stop for ice, check the gas tank twice, 'cause the sun will be up soon. And today might be the day my fishing dreams come true, and I break that state record. Jimmy Houston will ask me what I was using, and if I don't, we always have.
Y'all not helping your neighbor. Go ahead and lie about it.
I'll never know if I don't go. And today might be the day. Today might be the day.
Alrighty, folks, I think just about everybody's got some food in front of them, and that means it's time to start giving stuff away. So,
Darren Bamboo, Phil Belisle. The trip to the UK, hosted by Tony Spacey, our special guest, Marty Bollinger. The Quilt, Jan Spacey. Speaking of the Spaceys, the Humidor, Tony Spacey. Sage Rod, Bob Frisbee. The single fly plate and the double fly plate, Tony and Jan Spacey. I don't feel sorry for him, the pound is much stronger than a dollar. Come on. This is Jan Spacey. She came all the way from the United Kingdom. Our closest ally with her, she's about ready to buy a quilt. Give her a round of applause for making this trip.
this is the 5th annual Mossy Creek Invitational. And in the 5 years that we've had this event, we have hosted many fine anglers on this stream. But I don't think I've ever witnessed such a merciless display of fishing prowess as was visited upon these poor creatures today. So congratulations to all of you. We have a couple of awards that we're going to give out before we give out the hard trophies to recognize some folks who spent the day in kind of the zone where so many of us have spent a day here on Mossy Creek. I would first like to ask John Miska and these gentlemen who are aficionados of the bamboo rod and the restoration of that important part of our fly fishing heritage are going to make a very brief presentation to the angler who scored the smallest trout today. There's a certain ironic symmetry to this, because with an 11.5-inch whopper, we would like to present this award to last year's champion, Walter Morse.
Hey! Walter, come on up. Don't be bashful.
There you go. On behalf of Project Healing Waters Bamboo, we have this beautiful banding that Dave put together and Joe finished. Good luck with it.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Every year here, as is our tradition, Henry hand builds a fly rod. And that rod is, I don't know, since we have Wounded Warriors fishing, we'll say to the person who fought the hardest. And not surprisingly, this year, the person who fought the hardest but ended up the warrior on the lowest scoring team is a young Marine. And so I would like to ask Cody Bowers to come up and accept his fly rod for hanging in there all daggone day. Before we present the Champions Trophy, we are going to present the trophy to the angler who landed the largest trout in the competition. Actually, it's to the angler who scored the largest trout in the competition, because, you know, by our rules, if it didn't get scored, it didn't get caught. And so this year, we had some pretty impressive competition in that category. And the person who prevailed with a 21-inch trout of substantial girth, I understand, is Corey Sodacom. I would like to present the 5th annual 2012 Mossy Creek Champions Trophy to Steve Love and Josh Williams.
This is our 5th year, and I just want to say to all of you who came today, what I said this morning, thank you for being here. This is a big team effort. This is a community effort like none other that I've ever participated in. And the generosity shown here today and through our corporate sponsors, people frankly just couldn't make it today, but they believe in the cause. We hit a pretty good number. I'm real pleased. I think we started out 5 years ago, we were at 86,000. Then we hit the 3-digit mark, hit 107. We hit 126. And the 4th year we hit 146. And today, if John can help me do this, the check that we're presenting to Healing Waters today for the Mossy Creek Invitational, the 5th annual, is $182,000.
What can one say in a situation like this? The numbers are just out of this world, and for all of us in Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing, we thank Bob, the whole organization that puts this on, Colby and Brian, all the work they did, the town. Can't thank you enough, one and all, for all of us. Many, many thanks.
Century Club is something we started a couple years ago in Project Healing Waters that recognizes the generosity of individuals that actually reach in their own pockets and make contributions to Project Healing Waters, and significant contributions. And the 2 individuals that I'd like to present these to today have made multiple contributions like that. And the first is John Gottschalk from Omaha, Nebraska, flew in for this tournament today. We finally got him here. And the next is Marty Bollinger.
Hey, Marty.
We've got just a small token of appreciation Healing Waters does to to recognize a couple people who have been here every single year and have done so much for this event. The first is, whoops, take that off there, to representing this magnificent community and all the good people, many of you around this tent are his constituents, Mayor Hallie Dinkle.
This is for the whole community, believe me. This is all these folks that come back year after year to help put this on. We're just honored that you let us be a part of it.
And I want to say that today wrapped up voting for the World Fishing Network that nominated towns across the country that are doing things for fishing in the category of fishing for the military, for wounded warriors in particular. Project Healing Waters nominated the Mossy Creek Invitational and the fine people of Bridgewater and the surrounding community. Not sure we're going to win. I think we're up against Fort Bragg. That's kind of a big population. But the fact that this community was nominated says volumes about the people in this tent and all around this community. Thank you. Next one is Don Bell. Don Bell is the on-site coordinator for this tournament. When John, Michael, and I sat down almost 6 years ago and said we're going to have this tournament, we said, yeah, but we don't live down there, and God sent us Don Bell. This gentleman, and all the volunteers know him, the people in the community know who Don is. He works, the volunteers, the community, everything logistically that happens in this tournament is because of this gentleman. Don, thank you. Okay, next one, standing behind the camera with the big spotlight on, Alan Yankowski comes down here every year on his own time. He's an extremely busy man. He shoots the DVD that we use every year to go out and raise more money. Alan, thank you for coming down here and being part of it. We first met Brian and Colby Troe to come and talk to us about working here and helping us manage this water. And when they left, my wife and I looked at each other and said, well, we've just not ever met two finer people in our lives. And they have not only poured themselves into this tournament, but their whole team, everybody in the red shirt today, from Mossy Creek fly fishing, the people who are out here Thursday for 12 hours after my neighbor and good friend, Mr. Stump Wanger, he deserves a round of applause for bush hogging that grass. And following behind him was this brigade of people from Mossy Creek fly fishing and other volunteers who spent the better part of the day out here getting this place. Somebody referred to this as the Augusta National of fly fishing. So for you golfers, you know what I mean. These greens are as good as it's going to get. So if I can ask Brian and Colby to come up and just receive the certificate, and I'm sure on behalf of all their teams.
The Mossy Creek Invitational would not be anything like it is without the hard work that this individual puts into it every year. It's an incredible task that he has taken upon himself, and we want to recognize John because without him, I don't think this tournament would be the same. So thank you, John. One might think we are finished, but we're not. There's another two individuals that need to come forward. Robin and Mr. Fitch. No, you're not. Get up here. Get up here. All of the great work that has been done on this tournament over the years, all of those people have been recognized. Fantastic effort. But let's face it, unless it was for Bob and Robin, nobody would be standing here, nobody would be fishing, we wouldn't have a tournament. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, Bob suggested that he wanted to do this, he and Robin wanted to do it at this beautiful location, their home in the country. And Bob has been behind this since that time, seen it grow as it has,
and they need to be recognized. So I would like to present from all of us at Project Healing Waters, and I must say that Bob is a part of Project Healing Waters because he's on our board of trustees. But we'd like to give him this gift. Hopefully they'll find a place in their wonderful home for this poster. Just a little history of this poster. It was created by Fly Tires out in Olympia, Washington. The original now resides in the Museum of Fly Fishing in Manchester, Vermont. It's a gorgeous piece. It's the service ribbons of many of our conflicts with hand individual flies that were tied to represent those service ribbons. So it was done with a great deal of love and commitment for the folks out there in Olympia, and we framed a copy for the pitches. With that, I'm done, except for one quick thing. And I want to introduce our good friends, my good friends, Tony and Jan Spacey. The Spaceys, Tony got involved with Project Healing Waters in the UK. He founded the Fishing for Heroes, a look-alike program to Project Healing Waters, and immediately upon being introduced to Project Healing Waters by John Miska, wanted to do something with Project Healing Waters. So we started an exchange program, and Tony hosted us over there 2 years ago, and we wanted to bring Tony back here and show him the same courtesy that he showed us. He's been a fantastic supporter not only of Fishing for Heroes, but for Project Healing Waters. And I'd like to thank Tony for taking the time, the effort, and whatever it took to come to the United States to fish in this tournament. So Tony, thank you very much, and Jan, and thank you.
On behalf of Jan and I, it really isn't any kind of a chore to come over here. The most amazing thing is that your young men and our young men, we may have fought under different flags, but in the history, since a minor hiccup I think in 17. Other than that slight hiccup, we fought under different flags, we wear slightly different uniforms, but usually the US and Great Britain standing shoulder to shoulder. And seeing your young men and knowing some of ours, there really is no difference. So for me, it's been a labour of love, as I'm sure it has been for you. And well, thank you so much for your hospitality. It's been fantastic.
So our story started, you know, I'm in the Air Force, my wife was in the Army, and in fall of 2007 we both deployed to Iraq. We didn't know each other. We just found out later we passed through Kuwait together at the same time and everything else. In May of 2008, I got blown up. Ended up eventually losing both legs. My wife deployed to Baghdad. Ended up with pancreatic cancer while she was deployed. We both ended up in Walter Reed together, which is how we met. Kind of years went by. We saw each other around. We eventually got married, and we were in, when my second leg got chopped off, my wife was in there, we were going to a physical therapy clinic, and I'm bouncing along with crutches and one fake leg, way too fast. I didn't fall until later the same day, and she says, "I told you so."
The one and only time.
Yeah, the one and only time. But while we were there, David Folkerts had his little banner up. He says, "Hey, you guys like fishing? We're both from the West Coast, and we love fishing. What do you got?" He's like, "Fly fishing." "What's that?" He's like, "You like trout?" We love trout. And we both got involved, which was great. But what it's done for us, I mean, you know, losing a leg, ended up getting more fake legs, is fly fishing gave us an opportunity. I mean, we've been doing it together, but it gave me something to do, to look forward to, other than physical therapy. Something that would get me up on my feet, or my spare feet, or my other spare feet, and get me outside and doing stuff. And it's beautiful. I mean, you can't have a bad day on the water. You might have bad fishing, but you're not going to have a bad day if you're fishing. I just want to thank everybody for making Project Healing Waters happen, so that we can be here.
my story is not similar to Chris's, but for me, Project Healing Waters was getting the opportunity to get out while I was at Walter Reed and to see, to do something that I've never done before, a new challenge. And I had limited use of my left arm, so tying was really, really important for me. And while I was in there, and then I started fishing, you realize, you know, you can't worry about a whip finish and worry about anything else at the same time. You know, and the same is true for, you know, trying to set a trout on a dry. You know, it's impossible to think about something else and do that at the same time. And so over time, you know, the more and more that you're out on the water, the more and more you see groups of people like this that are here to support you, and to see people donating, you know, $182,000. It's humbling, and I can't thank you enough, you know, for making trips like this possible. You know, you take the same 12 veterans, put them in a clinical setting, you're going to have nothing but quiet, you know. But here, we interact with not only the Iraq and the Afghan campaigns, but also with our Vietnam veterans and World War II veterans. And so it shows you that it doesn't matter what country you're from or what era you fought. Soldiers have been the same since the dawn of time. You know, the uniforms change, but we're always the same. We're always going to go through the same exact scenarios, and to see a group like this supporting us is just humbling. And thank you very much.
Really appreciate your support going forward. Please travel safely on your way home. Sometimes folks will stay and fish a little bit. Please fish safely. And if you mark your calendars for next year.
That's what I'm fishing for. He passed on a year ago. I never cried like that before. Ain't it funny how the reasons change? What brings me to this show? Here's a cup of coffee with the sunrise warming my soul. For a deep breath of fresh air I can't get indoors. And to rewind all the good times till they're good and warm. To keep a few and throw back more. And talk with the good Lord. That's what I'm fishing for. That's what I'm fishing for.